Okay. This feels like a podcast though. This sounds like, oh shit, like
I have legit equipment in here.
I know.
This ain't no booth, as they say in the streets.
Yo, bro, Angie gonna be mad, bro. Our audio's not like this, bro.
Oh my gosh. Tell Angie Martinez if she needs help with her audio, come see me.
Oh, I will.
I got her. I used to do audio sometimes at Hot 87. I would set up all the microphones and like hit record, and so I know what I'm doing. But like if Angie needs a producer, I will
You're
immediately.
the guy.
I'll be at Power 105 tomorrow.
Cool.
After work though. I'm on the real estate grind right now.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Making millions.
Trying. Listen, we're getting there. We're close to 1 million. Ladies and gentlemen, Corporate Mike. I'm here with a special guest. Saad is in the building.
Yes,
we're going to talk about a lot of different things. Y'all could just keep up. I had my friend Muse here yesterday. She's like a graphic artist, big on the metaverse, is like really big on creating like these different worlds. And I told her, I'm like, you know, I'm so used to doing radio interviews and like giving these like big grand introductions and then like going into like some generic banter and then playing like a commercial and then coming back. I feel like with this, I just do whatever the fuck I want.
It's your show.
Yeah, we just talk some shit.
Whatever you want. I mean, that's the thing. I want it to be as open and honest as possible. If some kid like me is watching this and like, how do I get into his position? How do I get into these rooms or stuff like that? Just like, you know, I'm just gonna be as open as I can be about how I got to this place, how I got to meet Mike.
My man.
You know? Conway show, by the way. I think it was Conway show.
Yeah, it had to be Conway's at
Release party.
Yeah, Soho House.
Release party. Yeah.
Shout out to Conway the Machine, man.
Bro, that was a great night. I tapped in with Soho House's like management, and like that was like one of the craziest flex. I was like, word, I can just tap in with the general manager. I could just hit him up and just like, yo, can I have a slide? Like,
that's
fuck
lit.
a membership.
Yeah, fuck that. You just save $2,500 a year or something like that, maybe more.
Absurd.
I
haven't used it though. I haven't done anything with that. I'm very shy with everything. Even hitting you up, bro. I was dumb shy.
Oh nah, anybody can hit me up. Y'all can pull up on me. I'm local.
Pull up on him. Yeah, he's dumb nice.
I definitely remember that event, and it's crazy because that was probably like the first time back outside since like not being with Hot, since getting fired from Hot, since like pandemic. Yeah, because I was
But you were Rosenberg. You were with him at the.
Yeah, but for years, like so before I started doing overnights at Hot 87, I was like Rosenberg's assistant. So nights like that were like every night. Like we'd be out in an event, we'd get in the car, go to another event. Like it was just literally driving him from like event like that to another one to another one. At a point, I started doing overnights. I didn't see anybody. Like I was working midnight to 6 a.m. So I would just show up at the studio at 11. I'd see like Flex, Chuck, and Red Alert, like just talking shit. Eventually they'd leave and I'd just be there all night. So for years, I didn't really go to any events with Rosenberg. And that particular night, he had hit me just out of the blue and was like, I'm going to Action Bronson's show. And then I have this event at Soho House. You want to just roll. And it was a great time. It was like, it felt like I was fucking 19 again, driving Rosenberg around the city. Yeah. And we had met there. I mean, I saw Paul Rosenberg there for the first time in years. I saw Static Selective for the first time in years.
Eminem's, what's his name? I always forget his name. I should have tapped in. We said hi. I said hi to him a couple times, and I didn't realize who he was. The tall guy. He's Eminem's lawyer, manager.
Paul Rosenberg. That's the other Rosenberg.
That's the other Rosenberg.
Exactly.
I always mix them up. That's the issue.
So there was Peter Rosenberg and Paul Rosenberg in the same room, which is probably the most major thing about the whole event.
And like growing up, I remember in the Eminem skits, it'd be like, "Hey, it's your attorney at law, Paul Rosenberg, calling in to tell you about like, you know, I got these notes. They're not fucking with this."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yo, that's the guy." Like,
well, he works with like Conway and Griselda and all those guys now too. I mean, Dro was in the building. Shout out to Dro with Shady.
Nems was there.
Nems was there. Johnny Nunez was there. DJ Juanito was there.
Yeah, Juanito's so I found out that me, Juanito, and Scram Jones have the same barber. I'm from New Rochelle, so Scram, bro, that's like OG. That's really OG. Like I've been idolizing Scram since I was a kid. We go to the same barber shop, and one day I just run into him, and my barber's like, "Yo, bro, I like this is your opportunity. Like, just say hi. Like, go say what's good." And I was like, "Where?" I was like, "Yo, Scram, how you been, bro? Remember me? I met you at the album, like this and that." He's like, "Yeah, man." I'm like, "What's up? How you been?" And I was like, "Bro, this is what I do. Like, let me chop it up with you." Like me, Joe, and Nick would love to. We've been looking for like the right local mentorship. You know, like we really think we could do something different, something global. Like, I think I really have the crew that could do that.
Well, there's a lot to cover. Let's slow down for 1 second. Yeah. Tell people what it is that you do exactly, because I feel like you cover a lot of ground.
I cover a lot of ground. I'm not even sure what I really do, honestly. Like, I really don't know what I do. I've just been able to throw myself into the music industry through production. And I've been able to network. I've been able to make great homies, meet, A&Rs, label execs, artists, have like personal relationship with artists, but that still doesn't explain what I do. Like, I would say right now I'm like, I direct, I produce, I do editorial photography, I do, commerce stuff, like lay flats, I do product shots, like whatever the job is, like, we get it done.
Lots of visual art.
A lot of visual art, any sort of art related stuff. I want to get into like music production. I want to get the A&R work. I want to get the management. Cause I think like, I love production, but it's like very limiting. I think like with the network I've built up, I'm like, yo, like, let me develop an artist. Like, I shoot the videos, I could do the photos. I got a homie for the marketing. I got a sis that does PR. Like,
everything.
Like, what's up? Like, I got a homie that does playlisting. Like, what's up? Like, why can't I make my own artist? Why can't I develop my homies or take it somewhere?
And this is wild considering, because we just spoke off air, like before we started rolling. When you first came here, you moved to New Rochelle, didn't know even who Diddy was.
No.
You said you used to see Diddy at the bagel store.
Yeah. I went to high school with Justin, Nico as well. Nico and I grew up together since we were kids. It was just like, I'm gonna be honest, like I say this often, like, bro, like, black people invented cool. I don't want to perceived in a weird way, but like when you come here, bro, you're around pasty white people. My mom was trying to put me in like a lot of polos fly, but like, I was forced to be preppy and shit. But
and
like,
this is it. You were in New Rochelle,
Westchester, bro. Gotcha. You know how it be, bro. Jewish neighborhood. I was the only, Pakistani kid in the neighborhood. Like, bro, you know how it be, bro. Like,
I think, it's
like,
kind of common knowledge.
Don't you think you have that sort of perspective as well? Like Italian American, growing up in Queens City, whatever it may be,
I feel like I was the oddball because I grew up around, like, first I was around a lot of like wealthy white kids. Like, I lived in Long Island, like until I was like 11. I went to like summer camp. Like, I was around a lot of rich white kids. And then I moved to Queens. My dad ended up like going to jail. I was like running around the streets. And I was very quickly like the only white kid that was around anybody. Yeah. But I always felt like the white kids I grew up around that like kind of had a little bit of entitlement maybe. Like they came up with a lot of money. They didn't really appreciate all the things. And I gotta say, like, I didn't appreciate it. I started like hanging out in the hood and like meeting kids that didn't have all these opportunities. Yep. And I felt like they were able to have so much more fun with so much less. And like that's what made them the cool kids. And then, like, just over time, I think, traditionally, like white kids, they don't really have, like, a culture. I feel like they're going to follow whatever's cool. And hip-hop became, like, the coolest thing, and it's predominantly black. And I just happened to kind of get caught up in the mix of that.
Exactly
from, like, hanging out with DJs who were, like, like, black kids, Spanish kids.
I guess for more so me, it was just, like, me coming up in American culture, pop culture, figuring out music, all that stuff, So what I gravitated was the cool stuff. I mean, not necessarily gangster rap. Because
how do you decide what's cool?
That's objective. That's art, So I think it's really was what I picked up on, what was like, made sense to me.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like it was just the vibes were so much better in the places that weren't just like given every opportunity, every option. Like, I don't know. It's weird. Like that. What ends up being cool, because I guess at a point like Abercrombie was cool to kids, but it was never cool to me. I always was like, I want to be 50 Cent.
That was crazy. No. I agree, because like, bro, my thing was like, I always dressed like, I wanted to dress like Jim Jones. Like, I don't know, if I grew up watching like Love and Hip Hop, fucking him and Chrissy, bro. Like that's still goals to a certain degree, even though they still haven't gotten married.
Yeah, no, but it's classic.
It's classic, bro. I got love for him. He's the type of person like I really. Oh my lord, I'm getting a random call, bro. Scammers.
Scam likely.
Yeah, bro. Like I can't even. But it's really artists like him that I think really shape my perception on certain things, on life, reality. Not necessarily like manhood or masculinity, anything like that. That was more of the toxic spectrum for me. Something I couldn't really relate with. But in terms of like Jim got that album, Gangster's Poem, Pome, if you know that one. Yeah. That's one of the first albums like I really listened to full, like, you know, front to back. Oh, like, man. Like emotional lyrics for days. It made me cry. I to this day I listen to that. That's like my comfort album. You know, that's what I go to if I want to hear some hard shit, if I want some sad shit. Like it has everything. It has, you know, in my head it seems like it has like all of my feelings and emotions encompassed. It's like a full person.
What kind of got you into it? Because I feel like to come here, not even like be familiar, you literally see Diddy in person, not know who it is, to the point where now you're working with some of like the illest up and coming artists. Yeah. Like you're a guy that I feel like if I was to reach out to you, be like, what are you listening to? You're like one of the few who would give me a name that I haven't heard of.
No, I don't think so. I think like
internationally too. Low-key.
Internationally, yeah, like that's different. And that was the hustle.
But like, did you get into that stuff first, or did you get into stuff over here? Like, what really got your feet wet in hip hop and made you want to go down this path? Because, I mean, I know you said your parents wanted you to be a doctor. Like,
of course, to this day, bro. Like, my dad thinks I'm doing nothing with my life. I swear, my father thinks I'm doing nothing with my life. He thinks I'm wasting my days, wasting money. He literally says I have every time he bugs out on me, and these aren't like bug out. Like these are like, bro, like brown fathers, they get like verbally abusive. Damn. Emotionally abusive, and I'm the dickhead. I'm a dickhead too. So I recorded everything. You know, if you want to fuck with me, I'm gonna fuck with you back. So, you know, I can make a little diss track, bro. Fuck you talking about? Like, I could go viral with that.
You got into hip hop, he was making diss tracks?
Nah, I'm just kidding. I do. Shout out to Joe from YO. He helped me write my first song. I'm gonna show it to you after.
Okay.
I'm not sure to show it to y'all.
I'll let you guys know how it is.
Yeah. But it was my first attempt at music. I was like, yo, make me sound like Nav. And I was like, all right. So, some funny shit.
So you came into it like thinking, I want to make some music myself?
No. Oh, no. Okay, let me backtrack then. So, what made me get into music, or what was your, let me ask that.
Well, what got you into like the culture? Because to come here from a whole nother country, I'm assuming like day one you didn't have friends. Shit. You clearly weren't familiar with like American culture, American hip hop at the time.
I mean, I think it was partly or mainly when you come here, you have to assimilate. So with me being me, I've always been into, you know, fun, interesting things. I don't know how to better phrase that. I just had like a vision or a certain, I like something, I'm gonna stick to it, you know? So I came here and bro, America is completely different, you know? Completely different game, bro. The TV is different. The people are different. Everything was so different. And what made sense to me was, you know, I was thrown in front of a TV, you know, for brown people. A lot of brown kids, like, you're just thrown in front of a TV and you're like, that raises you.
Like by your parents and just like sit in front of the TV?
I mean, yeah, more so that, but like, yeah, just like, I just spent a lot of front of like TV.
Got you. Okay.
So channels like surfing and all that shit. Like, you know, you have MTV when they still did music videos, you know?
Okay.
And then you have VH1, all that, was it Spike and all, BET, Spike, all that stuff, right? So I think that was really more so what I leaned towards. I watched like cartoons and stuff, anime. I loved anime. But it was more so the real shit, the cool shit was on those networks, you know?
What music was coming out? Like, because I know we're a couple of years apart.
Okay, so when I was a kid, so I actually do know what the first like actual English song I was into. It was this shit is bananas, BANANAS, and I was talking to Joe from IO. Again, shout out to Joe. He mentions like, bro, like a lot of the bigger international songs, like for someone like 6ix9ine, he's saying maybe like 10 words, 13 words, like very, you know, you're just making these like very repetitive sounds, or like, you know, something that like anyone in the world, like, you know, a person in Vietnam, like, oh, bananas, BANANAS, you know, like that type of thing.
It's just a catchy tune.
Tune, right?
You're feeling the music more than you even understand the lyrics.
Exactly. Like Shakira's Waka, what was it? Waka Waka. Hey,
okay.
Hey. Yeah. So that type of shit. So I guess that really stuck in my head. And then from there, I got into music. I was surrounded by like, you know, a lot of women. So it was like a lot of their taste. Like my cousin Samu, she put me onto a lot of music. Avril Lavigne, a lot of the emo stuff.
Did they grow up out here, or they kind of came over also?
She also came over here.
Okay.
But she's not really like my cousin by blood. She's like my mom's best friend's daughter. She's like, bro, that's like she's like been my older sister figure. That's like literally like more it's than like blood family. To me. That's more than family. Like raised me, you know. So she was definitely the one that put me onto YouTube. She's like, the first time she's like, don't tell anyone I showed you this. I was like, bro, what?
What did she show you? Was it just like music videos or?
I think it was more so like everything, YouTube culture, like Fred, all that stuff. You know, like that's what we are now. Everyone is influenced by that to a certain degree if you're living like the Western world.
Yeah, straight up.
You know, like that's, so yeah, she really put me onto culture. Like what I would consider culture, internet culture, Gen Z culture, you know.
What had you get into the production and like pick up a camera?
So in high school, me and my boys, we started, I went to a Catholic school. I was a Muslim boy in a Jewish neighborhood going to a Catholic school. It was the weirdest thing ever. So in high school, I went to Iona Prep. They tried to expel me twice. Shout out to y'all. Yeah.
What did you do? You got in trouble?
Yeah. Okay. So
I got expelled from school once.
Really? Good shit. Good shit.
Oceanside.
Nice.
Oceanside High School.
Nice. Yeah. Shout out
to
man. So okay, let me finish the production thing, and we'll circle back to the. No, all good. All good. Because that's the thing. Like I love going on tangents. I love a good story. So in high school, bro, I was stressed about college. I wanted to do a lot of things, but bro, like the medical stuff was not hitting, bro. I can't do math. Yeah. I'm pretty sure I have dyscalculia, whatever the fuck that is.
Whatever
bro.
It is that you can't do math.
I swear I can't do math. Like that shit is not for me. I genuinely could not do math. Chemistry is not for me, bro. Like physics, nah. I appreciate it. I think I would love to put that in like a movie or production, put sci-fi. I love sci-fi. I love all that stuff. So having a general understanding of it, how it may be, I mean, that's the better writing, at least I hope. So I wasn't trying to do all that. So I joined a whole bunch of different clubs. I was already in like the speech and debate team. That was really fun. I didn't really do much. I just kind of pulled up and hung out. I was like the team's official stoner. Like it was just, I was like, yo, relax. I like to chill. Like, yo, too, like, and a lot of the kids said that, like, yo, bro, you were kind of right. I should have just relaxed more.
That's
like,
mad funny.
Like
to tell everybody in debate team, like, chill. Stop debating so much.
Not even that, bro. Just like kids fighting over positions.
I got you.
Like
they take it very.
I want to be president. No, y'all want to be president. All right, we're gonna be co-presidents. Oh you know who I'm talking about. Y'all both pussy for sure. For sure. At me.
Yeah, you're pussy, son.
Pussy. Dumb pussy.
Son.
I was head of recruitment. I told kids I would get them bitches through speech and debate. Yo, pull up, bro. I'm gonna talk you up, bro. I got you, bro. That's the type of person I've always been.
Did it ever work? Did anybody actually get a girlfriend?
No. Hell no. Hell no. Hell no, bro. People are capping on that team, talking about fucking hooking up with girls. Yo, y'all were all lying. Every single one of you, bro. Every single one of you.
I was capping.
Bro, like calling out girls on Facebook. We had like mad static between like Bronx Science, Stuyvesant, all these fucking schools through speech and debate over dumb shit.
That's crazy.
Over dumb shit. Someone hit up, someone posted like a prom pic, and this kid I went to school was like, yo, bro, homie thinks he's cool because he brought a 7 to prom or a 4 to prom or something. And then shorty, she replied, and she was like a big debate girl. Like she was getting like 7,000 likes on a fucking picture on Facebook.
Oh my God.
Like she was
like known for debating.
She's known for debating on like the US team for debate for around the world.
I would never want to date a girl who's great at debating. Like that.
She goes, oh, so and so thinks he's cool because he quantifies women. Damn. And then all the the white knights and all the girls like started running that shit up. And then every dickhead from my school was like, "I word, like we're about to fuck them up." Like they started cursing them out, like, "Yo, you beat this and that," and then calling out the boys, like, "Yo, bro, you not getting no pussy here, bro. Like walk away, bro. This ain't it." That type of shit.
Oh my God.
But again, like, bro, like. Yeah, it's old boys school though. It's very common for old boys school.
Okay, it gets rowdy.
Yeah, so I was doing speech and debate team. I think that I wish that made me more confident with my speaking skills. I think I joined because it would help me being less shy and shit. But I think the only thing that really made me less shy is getting to know people and just like living life. If that makes sense, right?
Like actually getting outside of school.
Yeah. It was more that, like you're in the same sort of like 8 to 3 situation. You see the same fucking people. Like,
yeah, all boys school is
tough.
All
boys school is dumb tough.
How was because I know you went to college too for a little bit for psych.
Yeah, I graduated.
Okay.
I took some time off in between, but like I graduated.
What made you get into psych?
That's the only credits I had left. Yeah, because I fucked around a lot, bro. I took all random classes. Like I took maybe 2 production classes all college. I took a lighting photo, and I took a whole bunch of like interactive media classes, like 360 video, AR, VR, immersive media, bro. That's what I really want to be doing. That's another thing. Like eventually, it's gonna be another business venture, you know?
So wait, let's take it back a
sorry,
little bit.
Sorry. Yeah,
you're good. So in high school, how'd you get your feet wet with the production?
I joined Yearbook. Okay. I joined we did, instead of doing like news on the loudspeakers, basically me and my homies, we got a whole, like, we were given a budget. I mean, the budget already is there. It was like a rich family that just donated money, and they're like, all right, we want you to do a production studio. They had all that money, all that equipment for like 2 years. Everything was there, but it was like being used as a storage closet.
Wow.
So when I got there, me and the couple homies, we talked to people. I had another homie already there, Mike Lyons. You could definitely mention. He worked for Trump.
Shout out Mike Lyons.
No, he worked for Trump.
That sounds so familiar.
He's like a vet. He's like a Navy dude now. He's a good dude. He's a good dude.
Married. You see shit with Trump tomorrow, man. Trump's supposed to be getting arrested tomorrow.
No, I don't care for politics. I'm very unconcerned about American politics. Even though I should be.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm so down the middle on everything, but I'm hard to talk to about it because everybody has like a side that they're on. But I just think it's crazy that they're like I was watching them put out the barricades and shit today. I'm just like, wow, it looks like something crazy's happening.
That's crazy.
Oh my gosh. But anyway, my fault.
So Lions was already doing this. So me and a couple of the homies, we just got to it. We had 2 teachers. Shout out to Mr. Casella. He had a major impact on me for sure. Like, definitely got me like more like stop fucking around, like be on your shit type of shit. It took me a while, but like he was really like, shout out to Casella, great dude.
He's like, you can't keep telling these guys they're gonna get girlfriends by going into this debate school.
Debate team, yeah. So Casella he took over the program. He started just cleaning everything up, set up the computers, got the budgets right, everything, got the entire thing. So basically, instead of doing announcements on loudspeaker, every morning we would have we would call Gale Force Live.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it like televised
YouTube.
News?
YouTube. Okay. Every morning, every classroom would watch us, and they would hate us. But for me, bro, like it was like one of the coolest things ever, bro. Like what other school? Like actually, I think Scarsdale High School had like a broadcast thing, but like I didn't know any other prep school that had like, or Catholic school that had that.
Yeah, I definitely didn't have it at my school.
So I mean, you're older, bro. You got.
I mean, I went to 5 high schools, and not one of them had that. Like, not one school had like televised, like daily updated news. I mean, I'm a little older. I would have graduated 2008.
Oh yeah,
from high school.
Much older. I graduated in 2015. I think 2015.
Oh, okay, got you. So you like, because I know I just turned 32.
I'll copy. Okay.
So I don't know. We're close, but not that close, I guess.
Yeah, my thing is weird because like, bro, when I got to the States, they thought I was like slow. They thought I was dumb. They put me in the slow classes, and it was just because I didn't know English, and I would just be pointing and stuff like, "Oh, there's a truck." Blah, blah, blah. And she's like, "Wait, you're okay? Like, you don't need to. You just don't know English." I'm like,
"Wow."
Yeah, I think that's one of the dumbest things that's ever happened to me. So like, they just held me back a year, but then like within that, I learned English, and they're like, "Oh, like he's able to like keep up with the kids and like if not any like exceed a little bit." So in the 2nd grade I would go to like 3rd grade for English and math, even though it wasn't.
Gotcha.
Okay, I think it got to like maybe 8th grade or 9th grade where I just stopped doing math.
You said fuck math.
Fuck math. Yeah.
Oh my god.
But yeah, I think elementary school was cool. I think going to a public school in the U.S. or New York was a great idea. I just think it was a great environment, like melting pot situation. I got to meet, even though it was like predominantly white, Irish, Italian dominated, and like a lot of Jewish kids, I got to meet everyone, because New Rochelle's a big city. We're a massive city. Like we have all sorts of, socioeconomic classes, everything like that. So, yeah.
So you finish school and you go to college and you take like kind of just basic video stuff. When did you?
No basic video stuff.
You said you're doing like AV.
Not AR, like augmented reality, more so like immersive media, like like I guess Web3 is what you would call it.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah. That type of shit. We just had Muse on yesterday. She was telling me all about Web3. I'm still confused. It's
I'll try to break it down as much as I understand it myself.
It's pretty wild.
Yeah.
But I feel like what you do now, like visually, is very like it's not very straightforward. Just snap photos. Here you go. Like
really,
things are moving. Like I feel like there's a lot of effects.
Yeah. So that is more so. I have an old camera. It's called a Nishika. Yeah, it's just a Nishika, bro. Don't stop asking me, bro. I'm not asking you what the effect is called. Google Nishika, Google Muramasa effect. I got it from a Little Yachty video. Broccoli.
Okay.
If you see those, it's in Broccoli, and it's in a ASAP Rocky Muramasa video.
Okay.
That's all I did.
Classic. I love that song, by the way.
Yeah, great. Both great songs. And I saw it. I was like, what the fuck is that? I did some research, and it just happens to be like a really old Japanese camera. It's called a Nishika. It's a film camera. It takes 4 images at one time, and in post, you can just like overlay it on top, and you get that 3D effect.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I thought that was like some high tech.
Nah, there's like Loopsy and all these other apps, but they look like shit.
So how did you learn all this stuff? If you weren't really taking it in class, I mean, it sounds like the extent of like your formal education was in like putting together like a news show. Yeah,
I mean, like, I think I've always had that insight, always had that sort of, I think it's just YouTube, just picking up YouTube, watching tutorials, all that type of stuff. More so watching professionals, kind of like seeing how y'all mirror. I think it's something like that. Like I'm very good with like mirroring someone or able to like, watch someone and be able to pick something up,
Like replicate
it, I don't think anything is that hard. It looks hard at the beginning, but just, you just got to give it time and
it's consistency.
Consistency. And like for me, I think my education is more so in the sense of like the liberal arts. I think what really pushed me in terms of art, like my vision, or even just like how I color things or how I might compose things, is just like, all the references I've had, whether it be literary, whether it be like, movies I've seen, foreign films, like whatever it may be, I think I've seen a lot. And then it gets to a point when as a professional, when you've seen a lot, right, and you're just able to see the composition, or able to see like, oh, it's got to be this way.
Gotcha. And then just like hammer away
at it. So I think the other thing is, being South Asian, being Desi, I was exposed to Bollywood my entire life.
Really?
Of course.
What, through family?
Family, my aunts. I mean, it's the culture. It's just, Bollywood is Bollywood, So it's also the fact that like every Bollywood film has like 6 to 7, if not even more, maybe like 6 to 10 dance sequences. Every it's like a 7-minute music video. Every movie, right? That's a lot of exposure for a music video director, producer, no?
Yeah, that's wild.
That's a lot.
I would have never thought of that.
Nah, but I think so. What kind of got me into this mindset is Malcolm Gladwell. If you heard of Malcolm Gladwell,
yeah, for sure.
So Blink and Outliers.
Okay.
I read that shit in the 10th, 11th grade for my AP Psych class, or I think Casella's class. Yo, Casella, bro, I'm telling you.
Casella's the GOAT.
Yo, put more money into educators. That is education and healthcare. That's what I care about. And the arts.
And the arts.
Outliers kind of explained to me how long I need to crack at something to get to where I want to be. And I'm about to hit I think my 10, I think I've maybe hit past the 10,000 hour mile, or, that what he talks about.
It comes up quick. I feel like with how much work, like,
yeah,
especially
true.
in music, when you do stuff you enjoy, it's like
quick.
You get carried away with it. Like you talking about before, just YouTube, like how to pick up certain things, and it's just like it's not as hard as you would think. You just have to put a little bit of time in.
Yeah.
I mean, that's literally what they talk about in that book, is like the 10,000 hours. But I feel like now there's so much access to so many different things that like you could really get carried away and pick up stuff like.
Exactly. Because I've met much younger photographers, and it took me like to get comfortable with the visuals. I think it took me from when I started when I was like 16, 17 to now. I'm 27 now. So I think it really took me a good 10 years to really get comfortable with the visuals and be like, nah, I don't like this shot. I don't like that. I like it this. I like the composition this way. Hit it with that light, this light, whatever. So I see a lot of these younger photographers, directors, and they're able to pick that up in 2-3 years.
It's wild.
All the editing they could do better than me. Less than a couple of years. They're watching, Max Novak and all these other YouTubers, and just picking up shit crazy.
Did you ever have like anybody mentor you through any of this?
Nah, I mean, I would say like my best friend Nick. So Fly Guy Nick, that's been like my best friend since childhood, 6th grade. Like that is literally like my brother. Like I have a actual brother, but like the only other person that knows me like that, or actually can call me out my bullshit, whatever it may be, is Fly Guy Nick. He knows me better than anyone else. If I were to die tomorrow and I was like, yo, someone's got to tell my story, it's going to be Fly Guy Nick.
And people that don't know Fly Guy Nick, he's Young Boy,
Favi,
go-to.
Rich the Kid, bro, like name the artist. Like, fastest growing director in my opinion, like genuinely. Like,
how did he get into it? Because I guess you guys growing up together, was there like a moment for him that he was able to kind of get in the mix of these people? Because I know at this point you guys are both working with like some of the bigger artists in the game.
Yeah, we try to at least. I mean, we still we want to help people out. We're very like humble with this. Like, you know, we really want to make friends and really just build a community around this. You know, I'm not in this to, you know, make myself to be this grand character. I'm really just trying to make sure the next kid that's like me is able to like, yo, I could do that. I don't gotta be a doctor. Fuck all that shit. Nah, fuck all that shit. So it's more so like that. How he got into it, bro, when I was in college, when I was shooting for random modeling agencies and shit like that, awful. He just picked up a camera. He spent saved up a lot of money, a lot of money, and bought every piece of gear that he would need. And even though he wasn't good at it, bro, like, again, you crack at it. You crack at it slowly and and you get there and he built a style. I don't know if you've ever seen a Fly Guy Nick video, bro.
Yeah.
That is the fastest video you will ever see. Every cut, bro, like his slowest cuts are like what, 6 seconds? Like crazy, fast paced.
Yeah,
but that
like
is
on speed watching those videos.
Exactly, bro. But like that's what sells. That's what the artists want. They know they're getting a standard, right?
Yeah,
it's consistent. So homie has definitely been like a mentor, my best friend, bro. He's been there for me in a lot of ways, you know? So definitely Nick has helped me out there. Yeah.
And then I know you work with Joe also.
Yeah, Joe. I chapped in with Joe about a year and a half ago. It just clicked. He hit me up through the Instagram DMs, and he's like, "Yo, bro, me and my boy Dilo Beats, or is it? I'm sorry, bro, Dilo. I'm sorry if I got your Instagram wrong, but Dilo, yeah, Dilo.
Dilo Beats.
And Dilo Beat. Him and Dilo are two of Boogie's main producers. They've done all the crazy song, bro. 24 Hours. They've done Pop Smoke, bro. I'm so sorry, bro. I'm forgetting all your songs, bro. I'm so sorry.
I mean, it's all good.
Yeah.
I know that I'm like the worst. I have the worst memory in the game, and I feel like producers they don't get all the credit all the time. I mean, you have some certain producers they have like the stamp. Now there's the producer stamp, but you remember back in the day, producers would make like the craziest beats, and there was no stamp. You had no idea,
bro. Yeah, you guys had them with the most fucked up like tag in the game, bro. Like
straight up.
I can't wait to meet Khaled, bro. But we gotta have conversations. I don't know. I mean, like I get the energy and the branding is there, but like
I don't know, man. I've always like I'm on the fence about it because I love Khaled and I feel like he's one of the hardest working, like more talented guys. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't know. Like, you just find the biggest people in the game and put them together on a track right now. Like, I want to see him put together a mixtape with all artists that I've never heard of.
Okay, so it's funny that you mentioned that. That's kind of like almost like a sort of like what's the word I'm looking for? Like a what's the fucking word I'm looking for? He's like an example of what I want to be to a certain degree. When I step away from the production and I get into the more of like the artist management and like the sort of A&R work and stuff like that, I just want to make, find the coolest, greatest people around the world. Like I think Eurovision, Central C song, fucking blew my mind.
Crazy.
Blew my mind. It was the coolest thing ever. It was the cool. I still listen to it every day. I just get straight for, what was that?
Yeah, he's been going crazy.
He's been going crazy. So,
but I feel like the culture out there too is very like conducive to making great music. Like it's not about anything other than like who's making the shit that we could get turned to. Because in the States, it's like a lot of the artists that are the bigger artists, the music doesn't hold up to like selling the tickets that they need to sell. Or they sell a ton of tickets for like a very short amount of time and then it like quickly fizzles out.
So, that's another thing I'm realizing with like the artists I work with is longevity. That is insane. Cause like, bro, growing up as a kid, you're like, oh my God, he's going to last. He's going to be big forever. Like
it's tricky because I mean I don't know. I don't mean to cut you off, but I feel like do you think it's an attention span thing with like the community, or do you think it's a lack of knowing, like lack of having the vision as an artist?
I think as times do go on, and with younger audiences, like with the Yeet crowd, I think Yeet kind of fucked up the game with that mumble minion shit. Because now it's kind of like if I think Fly Guy Nick and a Yeet song would make the most sense because like his editing and shooting style and his rapping style, like I
can see that.
It's like Tourette's though. Like I'm more of like a fine arts photographer. Like I want to be a more fine arts photographer, director, cinematographer. So like I don't want to be doing shit like that. I mean, it's not like you can't make it like super cinematic and aesthetically pleasing and kind of like a what was it, fucking A24 movie or something like that, But like, it's the audio for me. I'm very like, I don't want to be hearing that shit, bro. That shit. It's like a wavelength thing.
It's weird. Like I don't know what the people want. I feel like I've had this conversation with a lot of people just about DJs because I feel like with the DJ, it used to be like your top 10 list or like whatever is the biggest shit on TikTok or Instagram. Back in the day, that was like the DJ really set the tone of like, this is what is hot. And like, I'm telling you guys what you should be listening to. Now it's like I could say, or any DJ could say, oh, this is what you need to be listening to. And everybody's going to be like, yeah, fuck you. This is what we're listening to.
But then the other issue is like, bro, like how transparent do people keep it in the industry? How often is that like, oh, it's just an MP3 that the manager sent over? Like, yo, bro, like let's get that interview. Let's get that shout out going out. You know, like
that's it. Like, but that's why I ask, you think it's short attention spans of like people and that it has to be that way? Or do you think if somebody came out, because I mean, like Central C is a perfect example of that.
He's different though, no?
I don't know. What makes him different? Just not
I think
being from over here?
The verbiage. I think he has a different style. I don't think it's like, each shit is just like, whatever. Like, it's just...
Yeah, but not to say that there's not kids like Quoted a Friend that have like lyricism and like extensive catalog and everything, and they don't get the same national support that a kid like that would get.
Okay, true.
That's why I say I don't know if it's more that it's just beneficial to like the American business model to like have these kids that are kind of like very easy to control because they're very predictable.
I see what you mean. But then it's the game that's fucked up. It's the industry that's fucked up then, no?
Yeah. I mean, it's a little bit of both. I think the industry is fucking up the culture.
And the attention span of people. It's the TikTok, it's the social media, it's a lot of everything.
It's shortening up.
Yeah, I think I'm part of that. I'm trying to really like, I don't have a TV in my apartment. I have a projector that just, I put like visuals on in the background sometimes while I'm editing and shit. But I don't have a TV. I think I burnt myself out a lot.
Watching a lot of TV.
A lot of anime, bro. I'm obsessed with anime.
Is most of like the work that you do, you're in front of the computer all day?
Type shit. I think at this point I'm more so better at connecting people and networking. I think that's one of my strongest suits is like being like a friendly person, like being very direct and just letting you know what I want and expectations,
For sure.
So I think it's more so that I do enjoy editing. I enjoy video, Photoshop. I love Photoshop. It's fun. But I'd say I want to expand on that. I've built a lot in these past 3-4 years that Nick has kind of put me into the industry. And within the past, like maybe 6 months to a year, I've grown very quickly in the South Asian little scene. I've made a lot of friends. They know who I am. I know what they do. It's like
what's that like? How did you get into that scene? I mean, obviously, that's your background, but
this is where I start spilling tea and letting you know how to do this.
Let's say you were around a lot of like, the kids in New Rochelle, Westchester.
Yeah.
I don't know a lot of South Asian kids in New Rochelle, Westchester.
There's very few, and if any of them, they're all just very bland, normal people. It's not like they're good Muslim people or whatever they may be. They're just regular, I haven't really met anyone that was brown that had like the same like drive or like, yo, I don't want to do this shit. I really don't want to do this shit. I want to be. I don't want fame. But it's not like I don't want the respect that I think I deserve or the respect that I think I could build. I
got you. Yeah, sure.
It's just more so that like I don't care to have 1 billion followers.
Yeah.
I just care to put in the work.
I feel that. No, I'm definitely.
I care for more of the culture. Why? That's why I'm here with Hip Hop Mike. Corporate Mike.
Either way, all good.
Hollywood Mike.
Hey.
Hollywood Mike.
I don't know. I feel like it's weird for me because I was always the same way. I was always very big on like, how can I contribute to the culture? How can I help people like really do the shit that they do great and add to it and feel like I'm contributing?
Yeah.
But you don't get a lot of that same back. And that's why I asked like how you found that community. So I feel like there's a lot more collaboration there. How
I got into the community was more so just like I would call it the diaspora crowd, the South Asian diaspora crowd. Diaspora meaning a mass migration of a group of people from one place to another, not necessarily exodus or like the diaspora. So the South Asian diaspora crowd, like we haven't really been around for too long. I would say it's been maybe 3-4 years, like a really popping scene within the city, at least in LA. And I remember going to one of these events a while back, and it was like this sort of like South Asian music something event like that. And there's like these couple guys, I know them now, but they were talking about like making songs and like having all these views and stuff like that and like being big. just really, really like talking their shit. I mean, I'm trying to be polite as I can. And then I would see the work, and it's just like a video with botted views, and like, bro, you got 1 million views and like 100 likes. It's like, this ain't making sense. Why you bullshitting me, bro? Like,
that's funny.
So I was kind of deterred from the South Asian community back then, but within the past 2 years, like people like like, Heems at all? Heems,
yeah,
that's
for sure.
racist,
That's
bro.
racist.
That's OG.
Shout out to Bruno, my boy Bruno sells weed to Heems.
Yo, no way, no. Heems don't do that no more. He's clean.
No more. Yeah, this is a while ago. This is a long time ago.
No. Heems is, he's on his brown uncle shit.
Okay.
Back to the community. He's
funny.
doing his service.
Nah, but those guys are amazing. I mean, I remember like what was it, like early 2010s, like 2010s, 2009. Those guys were running amok at South by.
I'm at the Taco Bell.
Yeah, the combination Pizza Hut, Taco Bell.
Bro, Heems, I think, so that's another thing, bro. Like, when I really got into rap and hip hop, I think Heems was kind of, it's a weird. I told him, like, girl, bro, I'm your stan, low key. Like, last time I spoke with him, and he's like, word, I got too many of those, something like that. I don't think he really understood what I meant by that. Because once I got into, like, internet and shit like that, and I found out about Das Races, I was like 14, 15 years old or a little younger, and I was hitting up Heems on Tumblr because he was like the coolest, like, he dressed different, different hair, for that crowd, like being a brown boy from the suburbs, bro, like, like
I tried like the only brown boy, not for nothing.
Only
like,
brown boy, bro.
Like before, I can't think of like anybody, like Nav, before Nav, any of it.
There was a homie from the band No Doubt.
Okay.
It was Gwen Stefani's band, if you know about No Doubt. But he I forgot his name, but I found him as a kid.
I know No Doubt, obviously, but I can't put a face to
I forgot the guy's name. Something Canal, Mikey Canal, something Canal.
Yeah, Heems got it for me.
Tony Canal, something like that. I think Tony something or other. But like, I don't know. I didn't like the way he kind of approached himself. He had like the weird gelled up hair. It was just like not the vibe I was trying to go for.
I see him. I pulled it up.
Yeah, who's it? Tony? Yeah, bro, exactly. Show the people. I'm not trying to get that, bro. Please don't be a brown boy with bleach blonde hair.
With bleach blonde hair, but that's what you do when you're in No Doubt, man.
I guess. I don't know. I had a different perspective on like
Tony Canal.
Tony Canal. Yeah, see, I'm bad with names, but to a certain degree, I'm good with names.
You had it. Straight out of Kingsbury, London.
Yeah.
Big up to him.
Big up to him. Shout out to Tony Canal, bro.
Like, I feel like Heems was the first that I saw. Like when especially with hip hop.
So again, like, bro, like I was in the DMs. I was like, yo, Heems, like, what is your haircut called? Like, how do I get that? Like, and bro, like him being him, bro, like back then he's like, yo, it's called the Herman or something stupid like that, bro. Like, I'm like, word, bro, like what asshole. Like, I'm just trying to, and like a couple years later, I would hit him in the DMs like, yo, bro, can you mentor me? I'll pull up to Queens every day if you want. Like, what can I do? Dub me, left me on scene.
Wow.
And then I think that was kind of like a bit of a, he probably doesn't know, bro, just doesn't fucking care, bro. Like, but like, I think a major driving force for me was like sort of getting that recognition from my own people, So I aimed for the top. I mean, as top as it can be, So if I couldn't get it from, I think it's like rooted in daddy issues, to be honest.
Well, I was going to say, it's interesting because it's like, you don't give a fuck about your parents wanting you to be a doctor. But like, you do want this person to appreciate you.
Not just him, but like a lot of people in the industry like that. I think what kind of really affirmed me or in my vision or just me being a friendly person, it's like having that, like these interpersonal relationships was like when I met the artist Divine. He's massive. He's like India's young boy. Like the truest, the realest, like from the fucking slums, like that is the realest man in the game out there.
He looks like he's doing big shows too.
Big shows, all of them, bro. Big shows, but bro, that's like Wagwan to Divine, bro. Like that's OG. When I met him, bro, 30 minutes, chopped it up. He's like, bro, I love your energy. You're crazy. Followed me back within 30, 40 minutes of meeting him. Like what?
That's funny.
I hung out with him for a good 2 days after that. It was just like the greatest thing, and it was like me talking about stuff and him and his manager kind of like, yeah, that's how it goes. Like this and this, like just kind of affirming my thoughts and like how I thought the industry worked or, shit like that. Yeah. So for me, I think that was more sort of the validation that I needed in the industry was someone like that. Like, yo, bro, like, please keep going. Like,
Yeah.
like
we appreciate it.
You know,
it's interesting too because I'm curious. I'm sure somebody like that would have gotten the same thing from their parents. Like you're just wasting your time, and then fast forward.
He has a movie called Gully Boy, which I watched years ago before I even met him. So I knew who he was, bro. I really knew who he was. So when I saw him posting that a video on him in New York, I went to his crew. His label is called Gully Gang. Gully means like streets, alleyway. So it's like really like, bro, they from the trenches. Like this is the real. There's a lot of these other, Punjabi artists, a lot of these Indian artists that do not. It's just like Warner India makes them.
We see a lot of that here.
Could you bleep that actually? But you could put Warner, but then bleep.
I got you. Okay.
Yeah. Because
I'm gonna timestamp that right there.
Copy. So they are making a lot of these, like, again, like, how we make these, and the industry has a lot of these, like, how do I put it? Plants, right?
Yeah,
they're working on plants. We get your song in a big Bollywood film. I get how it goes now. Like it's a lot of money too.
People want it like that too. It's crazy how many people are like, I don't care what the fuck, just make me famous.
American artists, if you want a quick 50, 60 bands real quick, you want a Bollywood song, let's do it. Let's do it, please.
I want 50 bands real quick. I'll do a Bollywood song right now.
Let's do it.
How does it go? Give me.
I don't know. We need Snoop Dogg. We need Pharrell on that.
We need more than 50 bands if we need Snoop Dogg.
I'll talk to him. I'm a nice person. I think I'm gonna call him Unc. I'm like, yo, Unc, what's good?
He would probably do it. Snoop, I feel like would do any.
He's been in the game. No,
for the bag.
He's like the sort of like OG when it comes to like brown people. Him and Akon for some reason have gotten all these massive features back in the day. Back in the day in the early 2000s, they were in all these random Bollywood films and just doing these, what's good, nephew? Oh, that's my nephew. But literally, it's the songs, oh, he let him into the club, that's my nephew. Like that type of shit.
It's wild.
And brown people love it.
Are those guys like, I mean, I'm sure they're really big out there, but are there people out?
Yeah, Russ is massive out there. Rich Forever is my people, so I would love to build an audience for them out there. I think it makes sense. I would love to see them keep going.
You see Ross and Meek in the studio the other day?
Nah.
That shit I thought was crazy.
Rick Ross and Meek?
Yeah.
Nice.
Meek, when he first started out, he was like under Rich Forever. Like he was
fucking... No, not that. I mean Rich Forever, like Rich the Kid, Rich Forever.
Oh, I got you. I'm bugging.
I gotta keep I gotta
Sorry.
say,
Rich Forever.
I'm a firm believer you gotta dance with the ones that bring you. I think that's like, whose quote is that? It's not it's the president. It's a Bush quote or it's a FDR quote or something like that.
I love it.
But you got to dance with the ones that brung you. You feel me?
Okay.
You got to stay loyal to your brothers. You got to stay loyal to your people. Facts. You feel me? So in terms of the artists that have shown me a lot, like American artists that have shown me the most love is Rich Forever. Critch, Rich, Dex.
Straight up.
So they've really been the ones that show me the most love. Like it's just... those are the people I would want to see because Rich is able to do, he's talking about I got $250K for a show in Dubai,
Yeah.
Let's get that in India.
No cap.
Right?
Rich is interested too. He was my first interview. Like
no
on Hot
way.
97, yeah, he was the first one to pull up and give me a shot
That's
to do
crazy.
an interview. And then Critch was like the second. I never had a chance to sit with Dex, but like all those guys, Grams, like Ralph.
Graham, bro, me and Grams, we just talking about anime. That's the thing. I think some of my closest relationship in the rap game, music industry, have been made through anime.
I feel like anime is like predominant right now. Like,
it's predominant, bro. But like growing up and where I was growing up, I got bullied for liking anime, bro. Like, he still collects Pokemon cards. Like, bro, my shit was worth. If I didn't throw out my Pokemon cards, you know how much they'd be worth? Nick still has all of his shit. He has every single one of his Pokemon cards.
Oh my god,
100, maybe tens of thousands, whatever.
Nah, it's absurd. I went to a card show like pretty recently with one of my friends. He collects like baseball cards and stuff, and they had like Pokemon cards. And this guy had a case of like the starting 50 cards. Yeah. And he was like, "Yeah, this case is like $50,000." I was like, "Get the fuck out of here!" Like I had half of these things in my fucking notebook.
Exactly, right?
It's crazy.
And I tell my mom about it. She's like, "No way, I threw those out. No way, I sent those to your cousins in Pakistan or something like that." I'm like,
oh my god. Yeah, nah, I would definitely kick myself in the ass. I have no idea where my cards are. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But I feel like right now, anime in general, like especially like
it's called Uzi, bro. Shout out to Uzi.
Bro, Uzi's like dressing like he's an anime. Like it's out of control. Like it's influencing the fashion, the music, everything.
See, when I really pop off, all my outfits are gonna be anime references.
Are you gonna get those boots, those big red boots?
Nah, I don't got the bread like that at the moment.
Oh,
I'm not
man.
trying to pay the $2,000 resale.
No way, 2,000.
Whatever the fuck it is.
Oh,
I mean,
my
if
God.
if I could cop them on the retail, like the $350, hell yeah, I would have taken the 3-4.
I tried to grab them on the retail. It's like impossible. They were like,
impossible.
"Fuck you. We don't want your money. We want the bot's money."
I saw a dude that had like 80 pairs.
Oh my God.
He's like, oh, I got the pre-orders ready. Let me know. What pre-orders haven't dropped yet? How you got that shit already?
Nah, these guys just have bots, man,
Bots.
for days.
So yeah, I wish I had that. But anime drip is fire. What was the original question we were asking me?
I gotta go back. I don't know.
Oh, the South Asian shit, right?
Yes.
So let me go back to this. Let me mention this. So I think the best way to start a career is, you build your content. Like I built my content. I spent a good 2-3 years with Nick building straight content, right? So once I had built the content, I thought I need to kind of focus on this. I'm not going to get the sort of, it's going to sound very egotistical, like needy, but like I like the attention or, that sort of support, from the right people or the demographic, because like I could be shooting rap artists all day, but I'm just going to get random people that they follow or, like fans, stuff like that. I like fans. I care about fans. I like that they're happy, and they appreciate my work and stuff like that, but it doesn't really mean much, is that
I don't
weird?
know. It depends. I have a different perspective on it now because I feel like coming up, I always kind of like enjoyed that outside attention.
But you got different fans. I think you have a different viewership though.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like of every 10 fans I had, only like one was a genuine fan.
Copy.
Like
Okay,
for
yeah,
every
yeah,
10
yeah.
people that listen to this shit, like 9 of them are like, I know he's on this station, or they're like, oh, I know he wears this, or I like the guest he has this week.
Yeah.
But like people that sincerely like fucked with me for me and like because they were familiar with my story, I'd say of 1,000 people, maybe 10, maybe 5. It's like,
wow.
Yeah, but fans are like disposable these days, and not for nothing. A lot of the people that I still keep that I touch base with, and people that I do think are sincere fans, they're like overseas.
Yeah,
Like which is trippy.
I get what you mean.
Like places I've never even visited, but they're just like, yo, I fucking love the content that you put out.
But do you think you represent like the old guard of rap and hip hop?
I feel like I came in at a weird time because when I first started, I was definitely one of those guys that's like, I need bars. Like, I don't understand this fucking mumble shit. And then I started working with this kid like years ago, this kid Live Like Davis, that he was like big on Instagram and social media. And he was always into like the new shit. Like he wouldn't listen to old shit. I wouldn't listen to new shit. But I started kind of being more open-minded to it. And now I'll listen to fucking Yeet like on repeat some days, Granted, I'll still listen to my Nas shit. Like I listen to like Russ's shit. Like I'll listen to more lyrical guys too. But it really depends. I learned how to appreciate it, but I don't consider it like I don't even know if I consider it music. Like
What you mean? Oh, like modern music is this music?
I don't know. I feel like I always had music and like I guess it is just whatever it is. But like what makes this music versus like.
Yeah, I guess.
Is it like the rhythm? Is it like
art is so subjective, I think it's just the way people perceive things in over generations now. It just
I don't know. I mean, if you ask me like who's your favorite artist, it probably isn't the artist that I listen to the most.
Who's your favorite artist?
Probably like Nas, honestly, or like I even like Drake right now, bro. I think Drake is like perfect at complementing like the quality music with the industry shit. But there's people that I'm a fan of just strictly because they navigate the industry well.
Yeah.
There's people that I'm a fan of because like the shit that they make moves me, but like I couldn't tell you anything about them specifically. Like maybe I'm a fan of their shit, but I don't even know anything about them. And Yeet's probably like one of those guys. Like
Facts.
That he has like songs that I love the song, but then it's like I don't know shit about Yeet.
Facts.
So I don't know. It's weird. Like where if you would have taken it back 15 years, like when I was growing up, when I was like 15 years old.
I was that Birdie, bro. Birdman, Jim and them.
Yeah,
bro,
I would have known everything inside out. Every track, every like video. I would have known every lyric. Like, and it's just it's weird.
I feel as if I'm trying to catch up to that. I think I'm still trying to go back to the old guard. I think I'm still trying to go. I still go back to Jim and them, like Cam, Jewels. I still go back to Dipset, Crazy. The Pressure's On by Birdman is one of my favorite songs ever. And I think him as a model, as like I wouldn't say, I think he's a good role model to a certain degree as a businessman. I guess maybe the toxic masculinity gets an issue, or just, ego, but I don't want to just call it ego. That man has worked for that position, so put some respect on his name, so yeah, Birdman.
See, I'm a little tainted too by the industry, because I think working in music is like the years I was at Hot, I probably listened to like the most music but cared the least, versus now I care so much more and I like listen to just what I want to fucking listen to. I don't know. I feel like there was a point where I was very distracted by like, oh, this artist is like who I need to be talking to for an interview, but like I really only like the one song.
Let me ask you this, because I think you might have a good insight on this. Do you think that the sort of curtain or the veil between sort of celebrities has been sort of lifted? What I mean by that is like, I don't feel like as if celebrities or influencers are like the same as they were back then. I don't perceive them that way. You think social media has kind of dropped that curtain where we don't really see them as,
I think I do. I see exactly what you're saying. I just don't know how much it applies outside of where we are. Because I think in addition to us having so much access and like so much behind the curtain on social media, there is an aspect to like, we also could go see these people at shows in New York. I feel like if I was a kid in the middle of nowhere.
Exactly that.
And like Rich the Kid walked through like my 7-Eleven in fucking Des Moines, Iowa or whatever, like I'd be like, holy shit. Like I would have geeked like crazy.
See, that's why a lot of those types of artists work well out in South Asia,
Gotcha.
So when I've been asked for a lot of features. Can I connect you? Can you connect me with this person, that person? And it's more been so like, yo, can you connect with the OGs? Like, So it's been more so like, yo, do you know like Wu-Tang? Do you know so and so? Like, it's always just like.
I wonder why. Do you think
it's like, I think they're the sound. I mean, I think though they do listen to all the modern stuff. They love Ice Spice out there. I know they love Ice Spice out there.
She's going crazy.
But in terms of like that real shit, everyone, again, rap and hip hop is about that real, right?
Yeah, no, straight up.
So out there, they're still focusing on the conscious. That's why Russ is doing well out there, That's why he can do a full sold out 20, 30,000 people, whatever, if not even bigger. I don't know how big that was.
I'd be really curious if there was like a place where there was no like internet, like where you're not exposed to anything other than the song.
What you mean?
Like if there was a place where I could literally sit like 10 people down that have no idea who any artist is besides the people in that fucking neighborhood.
Yeah.
And play them like a Russ song, a Yeet song, a Das Racist song.
Okay.
And just see where it naturally goes. Because I really do believe that overseas, the quality of music is like a level higher. And I don't know if it's like, I don't know if that's fair to say. I don't know if it's fair to say like that it's a level higher quality wise, because there's really high quality music here that I don't know if it's as well thought out maybe. But I'm curious how much is just like human nature of like what resonates with like a guy like Russ versus like some of these guys that are very marketed but put like half the energy into the music.
So I think from my perspective, that's more so like a socioeconomic thing where the people that are listening to, someone like Russ or going to these shows, they're a little better off economically. Okay. And when you're thinking of a place like India or Pakistan, like majority is rural, villages, stuff like that. So a lot of people, they just got access to the internet. They just got cell phones and stuff like that. So the people that are listening to Russ are like, people that are a little more educated, English speaking, stuff like that.
Okay.
So I think my only counter to your question would be more so like, are these, when you go to this remote area, are they speaking English?
Well said.
So, so are they speaking English? If they are speaking English, they're not going to understand. If they do speak English, they'll probably like it or, they'll give you feedback. True. If they don't, they're like, bro, it's mumbles, it's gibberish. It's like me listening to what? Actually, I listen to a lot of music, so I can't even say like,
well, that's the thing. Like, there's like, do you listen to any like? I don't know if you speak Spanish, but I could hear like a Bad Bunny song and be like, "This shit is fucking lit."
Exactly. That's exactly the sort of like route I want to take. South Asian music with the collaborations and stuff like that. That sort of global level, like Bad Bunny. Like, you don't understand. I don't know any Spanish, bro.
At all.
At all. But those songs hit.
They slap.
They crazy. The biggest artist in the world right now, right?
Straight up.
Like. I don't know anyone else that's big.
Yeah, I don't know. And like, not for nothing, I feel like those artists get like a lot of support. Like I don't know if
you got to
like,
build that local. I've always had. I think it's very important to keep that grassroots approach. Build a very strong, loyal audience. Everyone talks about this, but it's one thing to talk about and like another thing to do it, because as we know, like bro, like it's impossible. It's almost like I don't know what the odds are of really making it like that in rap and hip hop, because I grew up with hundreds of artists that I listening to as a kid in high school, middle school. And I don't know how many of them are here.
Yeah. Do you have family that's still like out of the country that?
Yeah, I got family in Pakistan.
Is there something that they like look for here, or are they familiar with like everything over here? Do you put them on to stuff?
Here wise, I think so. I don't want to be rude.
Well, I know there was like for a while, at least when I was growing up, there was like a lag. Like if I was listening to like 50 Cent, they were gonna listen to 50 Cent in like 2007.
Okay, it's sort of like that. They're more so on the more softer side of like. I think it's kind of like, I don't know if it's entirely just like the environment out there. They do have a lot of hard stuff, but it's sometimes there is a lag. They're kind of catching up. There's this dude named Hassan Rahim. He's like our Justin Bieber, Joji. He's like a pretty boy, emo, emotional mix. And he's able to like rap in English and Urdu and Punjabi, like 3 different languages in one song. And it's like very relatable. It's like
crazy. I'm
Sad
not even
boy.
Slightly familiar.
Yeah, I mean, I'll put you on. You're gonna know.
It's just so wild to me that something like that exists, and I'm like, we have internet here. Like,
I'm putting Hassan Rahim onto hip hop mic. That's a different story in my opinion.
It's crazy.
So I think that's where I want to take it. I want to take it to a global level. I think it's ready. I think everyone's been trying to get a piece of the pie, but we are struggling, economically and politically.
Yeah.
So that's my biggest issue is a lot of these major corporations are trying to get to Pakistan, right? If y'all want to get in, I'm not, bro, like, hire me something. I'm not working for you as a consultant. I'm running that shit because there's no one else out there with the network. We both know this, right? So even here, bro, I don't know any South Asian. Oh, but the other thing, shout out to my brother Jawad, made in New York.
Okay.
He was the one that even brought me to that Conway show.
Oh, where?
So he's Bengali. He's the only other brown boy at the time I knew.
Wow.
Now there's me, bro, Jawad, made in New York. There's Crispy Cam in the South. He's a director. He's done Young Boy already. He be doing Peasy. He be doing, is it Peasy? Sorry, bro, if I fuck up your clients.
Yeah, no, Peasy.
He be doing, I mean, I don't know which Peasy though. There's a couple
okay,
Peasys.
gotcha.
So Choppa, he's the homie out there, bro. And he's the only brown boy I know with the big chain. He spent the bread. His parents don't know he got the chain too.
Yeah.
His parents do not know he got the bust down and the chain. He's like, nah, bro, I'm not letting him know. Like,
that's like, I think the most interesting thing to me is just the parents out there.
For every brown boy, the parents are gonna be an issue. Like it's still on my ass.
Every single one.
Yeah. I mean, unless like you're pulling up with the crib with a brand new whip and like $60K in your throw at your parents like, no, go get a rollie.
They're like, we love hip hop.
Yeah.
Fuck being a doctor.
Yeah, Nas, Tupac. Oh my God, Biggie, Illmatic. My mom starts rapping 10 crack commandments out of nowhere.
Have they seen your work? Like, have your parents watched your videos? Anything?
Yeah, my dad's seen the Fetty Wap video. My dad's seen the work. He doesn't give a shit. I mean,
he doesn't realize how major it is to produce some of these. Like, these are some of the biggest videos. It's crazy.
He doesn't care about the millions of views. Doesn't care about the artists' relationships. None of that, bro. He's. I'm not gonna say I understand it because, bro, with older brown people, it's like a generational thing. Dumb racist.
Yeah.
You feel me? So to see someone like Quavo, I'm gonna show him a picture of Quavo, right? He's gonna see like, bro, he's gonna be like, I see dudes like that in the hood every other day.
It's crazy,
right? He doesn't care.
Yeah, it doesn't register like where to appreciate it.
Yeah, bro, because he's not gonna see the gallery department hat or the chrome hat with the gallery department drip on. I'm gonna understand that,
Yeah.
He's not gonna get that shit.
It's wild. So it's like they don't realize it because it's there's a lot of people I feel like even in hip hop that are very firm on like the shit in the 90s was it. And I don't give a fuck about any of this new shit.
Nah, I think my honest perspective on rap and hip hop is that it's kind of like I people hate that I say this, but I keep saying that like rap is the new punk. Punk is people say it's a genre. It's not really a genre. It's a lifestyle, right? It's the disenfranchised. It's the people that are being what's the word? they're oppressed, you know.
Yeah.
It's that, you know, it's the real, like, the real gritty, you know, the real shit, right?
It's just like crazy to me that the people that are in that position, the oppressed, the punk culture that we have right now, it's like we're also, hip hop is the #1 genre in the world. Like,
it's gonna be that. Both? It's gonna say that, right?
It's like, how are there homeless people in New York City?
Yeah,
it makes no sense.
So I think, from my perspective, man, like, this is the genre, you know, like, it's the real genre, you know, how back in the day, rock and punk was a thing because it was real and gritty, you know, like, artists talk, I mean, they were talking about drugs and bitches and all that.
No, but I feel like there was like a lot more care put into like the lyricism and writing and not necessarily, like, you kind of felt the emotion a little more. Like, I felt like back in the day, like, if you heard a song, you could tell the artist went back and really like made sure it was something they were proud of putting out. These days, I feel like it's just, there's a lot of shit that's like, I'll buy 1 million lotto tickets. I'm not even thinking about the numbers. I'm just like,
you know,
and it works. It's like, it's worked. And I mean, I don't know if it always works for the artist, but it definitely has worked for the labels.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think that's the other issue. My issue is with the labels. Like, I've met a lot of label people, execs. I'm gonna be honest, bro. Like, it's predominantly white, you know, white dominated. And with a lot of the people I see in my head, it automatically turns into like me picturing them in that meeting with Bobby, where he jumps up top. Yeah. It's like epic, and it's all the little white girls, the interns, like clapping along, like, oh my god, yeah, like you know, that type of shit. Yeah. That's how I see a lot of, like, you know, not like you, like, bro, you're you know, you.
I appreciate it.
You know, you're you, so you can't even put you in that lane. But like, there's a lot of these very sort of, they went to college, they did their, you know, they went to their whatever sort of marketing degree, whatever the fuck that is.
Connected with somebody for an internship. Yeah.
They I mean, not to say like y'all didn't work your ass off to get the interviews and all that stuff, but like,
but y'all didn't.
I'm really not working my ass off to make $74K a year. As I mean, actually, A&Rs don't even make that.
I mean, I'll say this though. I think there's, like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just like a fucking, what do they call it? Tinfoil hat people?
Like a skeptic, not even skeptic, but like
I believe in fucking like crazy.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like they kind of like it like that. I think the people at the top of these labels enjoy having people under them that aren't going to challenge their positions.
No, but I'm not that.
No, obviously you're not.
I'm making eye contact with the fucking camera and telling labels that
you're the real deal. If you weren't the real deal, you wouldn't be here right now. Straight up. But I feel like the majority of people that people like ourselves compete with are people that are like in a position that they're never gonna get out of that position. But that means that they're never going to elevate into some of these other people's positions that put them. Yes,
that's another issue. But I think
it's a very vicious cycle.
It's a vicious cycle. But the issue with me in this cycle is, I don't think a lot of the older heads in these labels know what they're doing. They
definitely don't. But they make a lot of money.
A lot of money, right? But I've seen a lot of artists getting a lot of money thrown at them, right? And it's just some random white girl that just believes in this person. I mean, not to say I'm gonna sound like an asshole saying this, but you know, it's literally some random white girl that just thinks your music is good. I've met so many people like that. They show me their fucking friends' music every day, right? And I have to be honest with them, like, no, bro, this sounds like everyone else. I could show you 7 different references. You know, like I could replicate that beat. That's a tight beat. It's always a billion different things with me, you know, or like, it's always some shit. But if you're in the industry, you kind of have like that insight, you know. I'm not trying to bullshit around here, you know.
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Considering you're like familiar more so than me actually with Web3 and like all of that stuff.
Okay.
Do you think that it's gonna get to a point where these labels are like, fuck dealing with real people? Like, why are we dealing with this kid who's just wasting money and we have no... Like, because I feel like that's going to be the next thing, like 20 years, 10 years from now.
So you're actually wrong. It's already been done.
Yeah, but you don't think they're going to do it in a way where it's like...
So you know a Vocaloid?
Is that... They make the song with like the artist...
Yes. So Vocaloid, I think it's a... I forgot if it's Toshiba or Panasonic. It's one of these companies... They have this program called Vocaloid. It's like a vocal synthesizer. You put on the notes in, the words in, and it just sings it. This is like 20 years before AI. You know, like this is early 2000s, like maybe like 2010 type of thing, where this Japanese company made this program, you know, and then it was able to like sing. Basically, the computer could sing, and then they started doing shows with that, hologram shows of these little, like, you know how we had the Tupac hologram.
Yeah.
Before that, there was like these little anime characters. I'm so bad with the names. What was I'm terrible. I'm not even gonna try to.
It's all good.
Vocaloid did these like hologram shows back in Japan. It would be like bigger than any of the Punjabi shows I've been to. It's like 40, 50K, all just looking at a fucking hologram, dancing, and everyone's got their little like rave gear on and like all that shit.
But who's to say that's not how music's being made right now?
No one. Because there's all these AI, like I can literally find an AI that lets me replicate Pop's voice, That's
the thing. Like who's really writing these Drake songs? Is it Drake?
I mean, we know this. Like when you get to the industry, you find out like it's really like it can be a room of like 7 people. You got your couple homie, your producer homies, you got a couple writer homies, and everyone's throwing their piece in. Now you got a reference track, and what are you gonna do with the reference track? You either make it yourself or you sell it off, right?
Yeah, that's it.
So that's it. So yeah,
because that's what scares me is that it's gonna get to a point where it's like music is really so disposable that it's.
I think it currently is, bro. I've been into all these rooms where I walk into a studio and it'll be like a main producer, like the executive producer and like 40 heads in there, and it's all just these random guys that have like a little input. They'll throw a sample in or throw a loop in or some snares, whatever the fuck it is, It's that's how it's being made.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And whether if they're getting the credit or not is. I don't know what that deal is.
So what's your vision? Because moving forward, I know you're working with a lot of the guys that are at the forefront. Very real guys that write very real music.
Very, very real music. I think I'm more so now, I want to focus on, because the music stuff I like the music stuff, right? But that's always been something I did with Nick. That's always been his lane. I want to support my brother and I want to make sure he's good in that position. You got to be at the top. I want him comfortable, because he wants to see me good. He wants to see me happy. He wants me to see prosperous. So
straight up,
that's family. So I think for now we're gonna work. We started Fly Guy Productions. That's Fly Guy Nick. I'm Fly Guy Saad. As we go, we got more homies coming along. We have a full team. We have crews, whatever. So I think for the year, I have a lot of short-term goals for now. So for the year, it's focusing on, I have yet to do a South Asian music video. I have a whole bunch of people lined up, a couple big guys, a couple little guys. Like, it doesn't matter. I'm going to do all of them.
How do you decide who's going to be, like, who you're going to work with?
The sound, bro. The sound.
Strictly off sound.
The sound, bro. If I don't follow you back, bro, and you follow me, you keep tapping. I know who you are, bro. I'm sorry. I just don't like the music. You and your man's got to switch it up. I'm sorry. I swear. I know who you are. I be tapping in.
He's a savage, ladies and gentlemen. He'll tell you how it is.
I'm a little too self-aware. That's how I put it. Because again, it's one of those things like someone recently tried to bullshit me. He's like, oh, I found you through this and that. Like, oh, you're marketing yourself in Pakistan. I found you in my For You. I'm like, no, you didn't. How? What you mean?
It just pops up.
But I'm not marketing there. I'm not pushing myself. I'm not doing anything sort of. So that was more of like a cap sort of thing. It was like, oh, they're trying to get to know me type of thing. Like
I got you.
I don't know.
But it's like whatever's organic, whatever's coming your way.
Whatever's organic, whatever.
About.
Yeah, I mean, because like I make sure I look at every single person I'm tapped in with, every person who follows me, because you never know who someone is,
Yeah.
Like you never really know who someone is, so it's just got to make sure who follows you. You got to be smart about it. Be very self-aware of the social media game, because when you get to a level, or even with this career or this industry, it is a game.
Straight up.
Like having that follow back helps a lot. Having that the corporate mic follow back, I don't know where it's helped me. Someone definitely saw that and was like, yo, like, all right, word, he's valid. Like, oh, I'm gonna hit up Mike. Like, yo, is your man's like, is he good? Like,
yo, wait till I pay for my blue check.
Hey, there you go.
And it's crazy to me. I've always been very like against paying for the check, and now I see it's like at a point where you can't not pay for it if you want any traction or any credibility. I feel like there's 100 fake pages too.
Yeah, but I think at this point, like, it's just a matter of like proper rollout for you and just growing the podcast. Yeah, and you're gonna get all the rollout. You're gonna get all the press that you need. Like
I'm in just such a weird place because I feel like I've always done things in a way where I haven't really cared about the result. I just like do them because I enjoy it.
Yeah.
And like there's so much work that goes into it on the back end that I don't love to do. That's after us having the conversation that I love to have.
The back end is the back end, and that's the stuff like y'all are never gonna see. All the bullshit, all the
it's crazy,
the nonsense, the deals. Like it's so much, bro. Like getting yelled at by Angie. Y'all don't see me getting yelled at by Angie.
Oh
like,
my gosh!
So
I got yelled at by Angie one time ever in my life when she was still at Hot.
Yo,
it was the dumbest shit too.
For what? For what? Well, oh,
she was, I don't know if she was talking to Ebro or somebody, but we were having like a conversation. It was like literally, I was talking to Ebro, I think, and she just came in and like took over the meeting and was like, this is what we need to do. We have to think of a song that's like a sexy, like some like intimate, like seductive song. And I was like, oh, you should play like some Bobby Womack or something.
Oh.
And she's like, nah, he's too good for this.
What?
Bobby Womack is too talented to use his music in this skit. I was like, shit,
so
my bad, Angie. I'm going to just go back to minding my fucking business.
Yeah, I just gave a suggestion that was a little too good. Like, nah, take a couple steps
She's
back.
like, I need music that's a little more shitty than Bobby Womack. I feel you, I guess.
I learned how to edit podcasts because of her. From her yelling at me over Zoom. Okay, so she was trying to she's like, no, why aren't you doing it this way? Edit it this way. And I'm like, what do you mean by like? She's like, put this on top of that. And I'm like, what does that mean? And then I was like, oh, she means like a J and an L cut, like or an L and a J cut. And I was like, oh, and then like it started to finally click in my head how her podcasts are done and how like all of this is just like, you know, smoke and mirrors.
Yeah.
Like it could be a full cohesive conversation, but I'm chopping up 30 minutes at a time in between all the, you know, the bullshit.
Yeah, it's crazy.
The makeup girl comes in and, you know, and I have to make the conversation fluid.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That was
my old job.
You know, I have to make sure like, you know, if one clip matches up with the next clip or the audio matches up, like the previous clip can't be too high or too low. So it's got to match up with the audio level. Like so many little things with, you know, podcasts that I did not think it was.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Y'all are insane, bro.
See, I'm approaching this. I'm just, what you see is what you get. Like, I'll edit something out if a guest wants something out that they're not
with
like
the first
happy
episode, you just gotta.
I just want to put them out there. I feel like you might listen to an hour's worth, but if you get like a couple of gems in there that really help you, like I feel like so much of the stuff that you spoke about today, people could pull so much from because you don't hear that ever. Like, people don't really talk about being uncomfortable, getting into something new. People don't talk about like things that maybe their parents project on them or the insecurities.
Every day.
You always get the final cut that's just like, yeah, it was easy. I just showed up and that was it. And it got done. And
but that's not my life. That's never been my process. And I don't think it should be that way. I think it should be like to get to where you really want, you're going to go through the
that's what I'm trying to figure out with this, bro. Honestly, like I want to figure out how to do that, but also have it fit in with the realm of mainstream shit so that it's like the people could still get a voice, you know?
Yeah.
But it's weird. It's definitely like, I'll say this, doing real estate has taught me a lot. Like we spoke a little bit off camera too about like how people could kind of see you and they just decide like that's what the fuck you're about without even knowing anything about you. I feel like people have always kind of just assumed like I'm a guy that's got some money and that's how I got in a situation.
Put you in a box.
I've never had it. Yeah. And now I do have some money and I think it's like, all right, now I'm going to show you what the fuck I do with it.
Exactly.
And it's trying to figure out the balance in that, but it's tough, man, because
exactly that.
I'll say this, once you get a little bit of money, you're just like, you know what, fuck these people. Why do I even care anyway? And it's, I don't know. I really do it because I feel like there's people like yourself that have such crazy stories that have like seen so much that there's so much to take from. It's like, I need the Angie Martinez interview with you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Not even. I mean,
it's crazy, but nah, man.
I'm happy with the hip hop mic interview.
I appreciate it. Yeah, shit. You had me in my hip hop mic bag today.
Exactly.
I've been corporate for like a minute.
Nah, we going Hollywood. Bollywood mic. Bollywood mic. We're going there.
If you get me on one of these songs, this is for 30 racks, I'll become Bollywood Mike permanently. I'll change the Instagram. I'll get soundbite on the phone. We'll get everything situated.
Everybody. We tapping in with everybody.
But nah, man, I appreciate it, Saad, because you've been cool as shit. We've been talking on like the gram since that Conway show, and we got pretty cool through there. And like
for me, bro, I'm a energy person. It's very much like if I get the vibe, if I get the energy, it's like and people to a certain degree on social media, they play the cool guy card. Yeah. I don't know how to explain it. They just like, nah, I'm just too cool. Okay, the other thing why I even did this interview is, or one of the main reasons I'm trying to do more stuff like this is because like everyone's like, yo, I don't know who the fuck you are. I don't know what you look like. Like, you know, they see my content. They see me being
the art
posted.
Speaks for itself for sure.
The art speaks for itself, but then like people are like, okay, like I get you verified, but you don't have articles. The only article I have written about me is when I got my Fetty Wap. Okay, shout out to Fetty Wap. Free Fetty. Shout out to Fetty Wap for giving
free
that.
Fetty for real.
Yeah, but he gave me that collab post out of nowhere. If you see my collab post with Fetty Wap, I didn't ask him for that. I just posted it, and I was like, on some stupid funny shit. I was like, I'm gonna hit him with a collab post, and I didn't expect him to even look at it, or he just opened the message somehow. By the grace of God, Allah, bro, something. He opened up the message and liked it, hearted it, and then accepted the collab post. So
it's sick.
That was like one of the first things I was like, what the fuck did I just do? Like, what happened? And then when that, not to even like discuss it like that, but he got arrested like a week or two after that, and for whatever reason, the tabloids. There's an article about me. It says. Fetty Wap goes partying with director.
Oh my
God! They're posting on social media and this and that, and it was just me having that collab post with him.
It's crazy.
And I'm like, bro, I wasn't out with him. I met him once. We just did a video.
And it just popped up like that.
It just popped up like that.
That's the problem with the media, man.
I hate that shit. But that's the thing. I don't want anyone to skew my words. Anyone to really speak for myself.
Straight up.
The only people that can really speak for me are my siblings to a certain degree. And Nick, even that to a certain degree, but like they're the ones that really know the real me, and that's the only thing I want to present myself as is me, because if I'm not me, I'm
that's facts, bro. Because it's like if you don't stand for something, what are you doing?
Yeah, it's like that quote, like, bro, like you got to be yourself because everyone else is taken, something like that. I've been a firm believer of that shit, because like again, like it goes back to like growing up in the suburbs. You gotta fit in. Right?
Yeah.
So for the longest time I was trying to fit in, but I didn't want to fit in. I saw something cooler. I wanted to wear Affliction. I wanted to wear Sean John. I wanted to wear Ed Hardy. I wanted to be a little, it just made sense to me. So like, yeah, sneakerhead shit made sense to me. All that shit, So,
no, I appreciate you coming here and sharing a piece of it, man. Because honestly, it's been awesome. Like I've interviewed so many different people like over the past couple of weeks, just getting my feet wet with like doing content again. Mm-hmm. And like I haven't talked to a lot of music people. I had like an artist on here, Jimmy Sandra. I talked to Juanito, but nice, I feel like having these like genuine conversations. Because if you think about it, this interview or this conversation or podcast, however you want to call it, if we were at Hot 87 having this conversation, it would have been like, so what's the Fetty Wap? Tell me about Fetty Wap. Let's play a Fetty Wap song. We'll be right back. And it's like, okay, tell me about working with Nick. Oh, Young Boy, let's play Young Boy.
It's structured as shit.
And it's just bullshit. And I feel like the fact that we've gotten to flush through so many things is like incredible. And I definitely want to have you back to talk about more, because I know like even the next year is gonna be crazy.
But that's the other. There's so many things I have even yet to talk about. I got plans. I've got I don't know. There's certain things I don't even know if I could talk about, because like clients and the homies, it's like I work very, very close to my brothers. Those are like my business partners or my best friends. Like it's maybe a bad thing to work with your closest friends, but at the same time, it's been good so far. So I'm just gonna.
I think it's good in music. It's good because there's like a level to holding yourself accountable and holding your like you're like there's a brotherhood in holding each other accountable.
Literally, it's truly I mean, that's the other thing. Like, it really is a brotherhood. It's this entire game is very much a brotherhood, and I don't think I would have been able to come this far this quickly if it wasn't necessarily for that. The South Asian like industry and that sort of how do I put it? Sort of community that is entirely run by women.
Really?
All these major, like there's like the Juggernaut, there's Brown Girl Magazine, there is Product Culture. These are all run by very powerful, strong women. So shout out to them. That's how I also got into I never answered the question. So build a portfolio, build something, and then just reach out. Cold DM. I would literally cold DM hundreds of people. I'm cold DM every producer I see that makes sense that I think could, something.
What do you say?
I say, hey, how are you? It's like I copy and paste. I'm sorry, I copy and paste to all of y'all. So I said, hey, hope you're well. My name is Saad. I'm a photographer and video producer based out of New York. I've worked with so-and-so. I'd love to collaborate, network with you. Something like that.
Gotcha.
I think it's a little too, I'm not good. I'm really not. I think I'm good at communicating, but at the same time, I think I'm bad at communicating. I get really bad anxiety. And when I'm talking, I either like, if I get nervous, I start speeding up. Like right now, like I start speeding up or I start stuttering, so I just gotta stop and relax.
I don't know. You did pretty good, man. I gotta say, I've talked to people that like you can tell they're just straight up nervous. I just feel like you have so much information to give and like have such a good energy to you that it's like it just comes pouring out.
I mean, it's the thing with me is like I'm not a kid. I still got the energy of a kid. I don't want to ever change. I didn't want to ever, be like, yo, like, yeah. I don't want to ever be someone that isn't me. So I think it's partly that energy, that enthusiasm being a kid, but now I'm a grown man. I've been around the industry. I've been around crazy, I've been around all over, been to the biggest shows, the biggest artists, the biggest clubs. Like I've been to rooms that normal people do not ever, I've been to, bro, one of the coolest, it's a cool but also dumb story I got is in LA, the first time I went to LA, the homies took me to a trap. I thought it was going to be like a
trap house?
The Penthouse Trap House. Penthouse Trap House, I walk in, the security's patting you down. First you get on at like one random weird floor and you get off and security takes you off and they take you to the other elevator and then they take you to the top.
Oh my gosh.
And then it's some weird shit. And then there's another security guy, he's patting you down, all that shit. I had a great time there. I felt very secure. I'm a weird person when it comes to shit like this. My homies, they were bugging out. They felt very like uncomfortable. I'm like, nah, bro. If you ain't getting the pat down at the Penthouse Trap House, what are you doing? Like, you feel me?
I got you. Nah,
that's respect. True. I want that respect. I want to be considered dangerous.
Nah, it's funny.
You never know. I got a water gun on me. Straight shooter.
Nah, but it's fun doing just different shit. I feel like, I was watching a video the other day. There's like this tennis court in fucking Grand Central Terminal. I'm like, I would have never known it was there if I didn't see it on Instagram. Exactly. Like, sometimes it's fun just being the know on shit that like most people don't like ever get to see,
That's what I aim for. I want to take in all these experiences that I can.
Just live life to the fullest, man.
Yeah, because again, like, bro, like I really don't know how young I'm or how old I'm gonna be or any of that shit, right? Fuck money, fuck all that shit. I mean, I like culture. I really like culture. I like people. I want to focus on that.
Nah, it shows, bro. I appreciate you coming through and chopping it up with me today.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me.
I gotta have you come back. For people that want to keep up, everybody should want to keep up. How do they find you?
I just got Instagram for now. I got a website, saadmatlow.com, and I got my Instagram, saadmatlow.
You should go check out the website too. I was on the website like a couple of times when we first met and earlier today. And yeah, you guys should read his about. You should definitely look at the portfolio. I mean, the pictures are phenomenal. You'll see some on Instagram, but the website is very well put together. I'm assuming you built that yourself?
No, bro. Okay, that's my brother. That's my other brother, Obed. Okay. Shout out Obed. He is a Google developer, genius boy, Carnegie Mellon graduate. Like, when I say genius, I mean like he's on that like Virgil Abloh level of thinking. He is like, he just needs his time and needs to not be in that corporate structure, even though, bro, you getting paid bank.
That's how it
goes.
Making
bank. My brother is making bank. But he's such a good creative. And then I want him to get creative with the tech, the immersive media stuff. That's like who I want to work with more so that, that future shit,
Yeah.
Trying to really push the game. I would talk about the ideas I have, but these are things that like, it's so young and new that like, I don't want to talk about it. And it's like if someone just figures out like, oh, like he's piecing these these three technologies and open source code from this website or
not keep it under wraps.
Yeah, that type of shit.
We'll talk about it when it formulates, it comes to life, because I don't want people running with ideas.
Nah, I'm gonna tell you off camera.
All right, please do.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you off camera.
All right, I'm gonna roll something up. Saad Meta, ladies and gentlemen, make sure y'all check him out.
Thank you, bro. Hip Hop Mike, bro.
Yo, appreciate you, my brother.
I'm tapped in with the fucking OGs. That's it, bro. Scram, I'm coming for you next, bro. We got that meeting locked in. I'm coming.
Big up Scram Jones, my man.
Bro, OG. I'm trying to tap in really old, only the OGs. That's it.
Until next time.